Fellow Taoist Chiu was greeted after a long absence. He was asked if he remembered his acquaintances and the two nascent souls they shared. Upon seeing the undead, Chiu Saiping was terrified, kneeling and pleading for mercy, even addressing him as grandpa. Meanwhile, Wang Lin and Li Muwan spent time in a cave. Afterward, they traveled to the city of Moni. Wang Lin was pleased to see the deathly aura on Li Muwan fading. At the Qi Refining Pavilion, the decade-long auction grand meeting commenced. As Wang Lin's group entered, a middle-aged man recognized him from a previous encounter and promptly ushered them to the third floor with great respect, remarking on the honor of Wang Lin's presence. The other cultivators present were taken aback by this display of deference, particularly as Wang Lin appeared to be an ordinary mortal, and Li Muwan, though at the late stage of core formation, seemed frail. However, it was the presence of Lu Fei and Taiyan, two late-stage nascent soul cultivators clearly acting as guards for Wang Lin, that truly astonished everyone. Settled in a private room, Wang Lin's impatience was noted by the middle-aged man who hastily excused himself, his back drenched in sweat. He recalled his previous inquiry about Wang Lin to the old man accompanying him, a late-stage nascent soul cultivator who had been visibly intimidated by Wang Lin. This led the middle-aged man to suspect Wang Lin was a deity transformation stage cultivator, a formidable presence in the sea of devil cultivation and a force not to be trifled with. The Qi Refining Pavilion's own standing was due to the backing of a 7th-level deity transformation cultivator. Elsewhere, within a cave, a white-haired old man meditating was interrupted by a message from a young girl. The message concerned a suspected deity transformation stage cultivator. Upon receiving this information, the old man promptly departed. This old man was the same deity transformation cultivator who had previously offered to take Wang Lin as his disciple and whom Wang Lin had encountered on his second trip to the ancient god's land. Back in the private room, Wang Lin and Li Muwan sat together, Li Muwan gazing tenderly at Wang Lin. Lu Fei and Taiyan, their cultivation benefiting from Wang Lin's guidance, meditated by the door. Suddenly, a sharp divine sense probed from a nearby private room, alerting Lu Fei and Taiyan. Lu Fei retaliated with her own divine sense, resulting in a cry of pain from the other room. Wang Lin remained unperturbed, continuing his conversation with Li Muwan. However, a stronger, combined divine sense then emerged from the same room, prompting a furious shout questioning the arrogance of the probe. Following the angry shout, Lu Fei and Taiyan's divine senses inexplicably vanished. A grizzled, purple-robed old man strode directly towards Wang Lin's room. As he lifted the curtain, Wang Lin's cold gaze met his. The old man trembled violently, stumbling back 3 steps, drenched in cold sweat, his nascent soul nearly shattering. He instantly recognized Wang Lin as a deity transformation cultivator and begged forgiveness for his reckless offense. Wang Lin, recognizing something familiar in the old man's face, realized it was Chiu Saiping. At that moment, a hearty laugh sounded from outside. A white-haired old man announced his arrival, claiming to be paying respects to the deity transformation cultivator gracing the auction and expressing surprise at this reunion with an old friend. Lu Fei and Taiyan, their expressions shifting, retreated behind Wang Lin. Wang Lin invited the newcomer to sit, a faint smile on his lips. The white-haired old man's gaze swept over Li Muwan as she sat beside Wang Lin, commenting on Wang Lin's unchanging demeanor since their last meeting. Wang Lin, recalling their encounter in the star fragmentary maze, felt a ripple of unease. He had been disguised, yet this man recognized him, clearly possessing remarkable abilities. Outside, Chiu Saiping remained awkwardly in place, to leave without permission. As the 2 old men conversed, the auction on the first floor commenced, beginning with magical treasures and spirit pills that sparked lively bidding. Li Muwan, gentle and lovely, sat beside Wang Lin, observing the bustling scene below with a soft smile. She remarked on Wang Lin's familiarity, questioning if they had met prior to the star fragmentary maze. Wang Lin smiled faintly, offering no direct answer. Instead, he gestured for the purple-robed old man to enter. Relieved, Qiu Siping bowed deeply, greeting both Wang Lin and the white-haired old man. Wang Lin then addressed Qiu Siping, noting their long separation. Qiu Siping's face filled with astonishment, as did the white-haired old man's. Qiu Siping scrutinized Wang Lin, the familiar feeling intensifying yet remaining elusive. He cautiously inquired if they had met before. Wang Lin smiled faintly and asked Qiu Siping if he remembered the two nascent souls they shared. Qiu Siping's eyes widened in shock as he exclaimed, recognizing Wang Lin and his astonishing ascension to the deity transformation stage. After obtaining the 6th grade pill formula, Wang Lin returned to the valley. He continued his daily infusions of spiritual energy into Li Muwan while she studied the formula. Though unafraid of death, she yearned to remain with Wang Lin and devoted herself to understanding the formula. Many of the required spiritual herbs were extinct, necessitating the search for substitutes. Wang Lin summoned Ouyang Zi, a pill refinement fanatic, to assist. Ouyang Zi, obsessed with pills, was captivated by the 6th grade formula and dedicated himself to researching the Guiyuan pill. After 2 years of tireless work, only 3 substitute ingredients remained elusive. During this time, Li Muwan, despite Wang Lin's spiritual infusions, began to show signs of aging. Wang Lin's heart ached with each sign of her decline. One rainy night, after Li Muwan slept, Wang Lin stood alone in the rain, his heart heavy with worry. Li Muwan's weakening body made forming her nascent soul increasingly dangerous, potentially leading to its destruction before her physical body could even coalesce. Lost in thought, he drank from his dwindling supply of fruit wine, triggering memories of Donghua and his childhood. A look of determination filled his eyes. Just then, a cry of excitement echoed from Ouyang Zi's room. He rushed out, excitedly announcing he had found substitutes for the final 3 herbs, presenting Wang Lin with a jade slip containing the information. Wang Lin reviewed the details, learning the rarity of the ingredients, some found only in 4th-level cultivation countries. He immediately departed to procure them. As he left, Li Muwan awoke, reluctance filling her eyes, lamenting that Wang Lin never saw her at her loneliest, for she was only truly lonely in his absence. Tears streamed down her face as wrinkles deepened on her forehead, aging her significantly. 7 months later, a weary Wang Lin returned, having traversed 4th and even some 5th-level cultivation countries, braving several battles, including a near-fatal encounter with a mid-stage deity transformation cultivator who had mastered a special domain. He immediately rushed to the valley. Upon entering, he froze, seeing Li Muwan's figure from behind, her long hair now partially gray. He announced his return and the retrieval of the herbs. Li Muwan smiled faintly, urging him to stay, as her time was short. Wang Lin insisted she wouldn't die. She leaned against him and closed her eyes. Ouyang Zi, meanwhile, was immersed in refining the 6th grade pill, his lifelong pursuit. His spirit ignited, his soul burning with focus. Even he approached the task with utmost care. As the process continued, he grew increasingly irritable, impatient even with Wang Lin's inquiries. This wasn't due to disrespect, but rather his all-consuming focus on the pill. Wang Lin understood, recognizing Ouyang Zi's potential to reach deity transformation through his singular dedication to pill refinement. 3 years passed. Ouyang Zi continued his work, the pill still incomplete, though a strong medicinal fragrance occasionally emanated from his room. Li Muwan's condition deteriorated, confining her to bed, her gaze fixed on Wang Lin, filled with increasing reluctance. Her time was near. Only Wang Lin's continuous infusions of spiritual energy had sustained her this long. 3 more years passed, and Ouyang Zi's pill refinement reached a breakthrough. Li Muwan, however, was at her limit, unable to walk, lying in bed gazing at Wang Lin. The saga continues. Please like and subscribe. We'll continue the chat in the next episode.